Considering all the things you've done, you're in remarkably good condition.
Time will tell. But
I mean, you're walking around, you're
Right.
talking, everything's fine. I mean,
hopefully you're right.
yeah,
Yeah. But I'm always
pushing it.
no. I'm always concerned about the effects. You know.
Yeah, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Something to be concerned about.
Yeah. Because now that I have a daughter, I want to live long. You know.
Sure.
I want to live till I'm 100.
Right. That's possible if you don't get bit by a cobra. It's totally possible. Then now is probably the best time ever to have
To
that
stop
goal.
all the-
Well, I mean, to have the goal of living to 100 with modern science and medicine.
Yeah, I believe it's possible.
Well, it's for people who live to 100.
But I think diet is everything.
It's a lot of it.
Yeah.
Are you pretty diligent with your diet?
Well, since the injury, it kind of gave me an excuse to not be, but I need to get serious again.
The injury gave you an excuse to not be?
Yeah.
How come?
I don't know. I was like, fuck this. You know?
That's funny. Yeah. No, I mean, it seems simple, but it is true that your body is essentially made out of what you consume.
Yeah.
It's the only thing that it has to
For sure.
regenerate. And
Yep.
it doesn't, people don't think of it that way. You think of your body as your body, but your
Nope.
body is constantly reproducing itself. Cells
Yep.
are constantly regenerating.
Yep.
And if you don't give your body good nutrients and real food,
You suffer.
you suffer. And that is the majority of Americans, unfortunately.
Even my friend is running a marathon in a few days, and I said for the next couple of days, reduce any food that will give you inflammation and do extreme hydration because
Yeah.
the impact of that distance will pay its toll in the long run.
Most certainly, especially if you're not conditioned for it.
And I think really good endurance athletes like, Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Tom Brady, they all are very concerned with inflammation.
Oh, yeah.
So they don't have anything that will give them inflammation. And I think that allows you to continue much longer.
Most certainly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, inflammation is one of the biggest problems that people have, particularly in this country because of the way we eat. I'm sure you've seen those photographs of people on the beach in like the 1960s versus people on the beach in 2023.
No,
You
but
never
I
seen
can
it?
imagine.
Yeah,
It's this versus
we've
this.
ballooned,
Yeah.
and it's because of the American diet.
Yeah, it's sugar.
It's sugar.
And the
it's-
process, the bad sugars.
Yep.
And even just the way they genetically modified fruit. Like if you look at watermelon from the Renaissance days, like a Renaissance painting of a watermelon, as opposed to a watermelon now, it doesn't even look like the same thing.
Right.
It yields such a high dose of sugar to become addictive. So you
Yeah.
can, and berries, everything. So,
That term genetically modified gets thrown around a lot. A lot of it is just selective breeding. Like they
Well,
just
sure.
figure out a way to breeding's not the right word either. It's like they select for very specific traits. I mean, that's why they've made a tomato that can sit on a truck and drive across the country and not rot. But then you get it and it's flavorless and pale,
yeah.
but it's durable.
Wait, can you pull up a Renaissance painting of a watermelon? I just want you to see.
Yeah, I've never.
And
I
then
don't think
it'll
I've
show
ever
you
seen
side
a
by side. It's
Renaissance
crazy.
painting of a watermelon.
Yeah, how they were originally.
Well, I'm sure you've seen like heirloom tomatoes. Have you seen heirloom tomatoes?
Yeah.
They look so. Oh, that's what it
See?
looks like. Whoa.
And wait, the middle left one. Yeah, that one shows the.
Both of
See
them.
the difference?
Wow.
Yeah, they've done that with everything.
That's wild.
Yeah, it's all. I mean, it's a reason. I think even fruit. You would think fruit is so healthy, but then you get these berries when you go to Whole Foods, and they're like this big, and they're so juicy, and you eat the whole thing. But if you're in the wild getting blackberries, they're small, they're bitter. So, yeah.
That's extraordinary.
So I think even the fruit and the things we think are healthy, we have to be careful.
Yeah. It's definitely very different. But I don't necessarily think. I wonder, like, what is the difference in terms of the nutrient content, whether or not it's bad for you to eat modern watermelon. I would doubt it is.
No, I think it's
'Cause it
fine,
does-
but I'm just saying it yields such a high dose of sugar.
Right. Yeah.
And
Most
sugar
certainly.
creates inflammation.
Yeah, it certainly does.
And cancer thrives on... so,
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I've noticed a giant difference cutting sugar out of my life. Like when I cut it out and just live very cleanly, eat very cleanly, it's just massive difference in how your body feels, how your back feels, joints feel,
That's
everything.
Especially things like the back.
And
like
your
where you have
brain.
pain, that stuff goes away.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Yeah.
even how your brain functions.
Everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right now, my brain is on a lag because I've been not eating properly.
I would think if anybody would be taking care of themselves, it's someone like you that
Yeah, I need to.
brutalizes yourself.
But sometimes I go so extreme that I need like a break and I go the other way.
I know what you mean. Yeah, you get tired of it. That happens to a lot of fighters. They get done fighting and they just get fat because they're just like, I don't want to train anymore. I don't want to do anything.
Yeah, because they're so extreme and
Yeah.
so focused, and all of a
Yeah.
sudden it's a.
Yeah, I think little vacations from discipline are fine. But when I take a little vacation from discipline, I feel like shit. And then I'm like, what are you doing? And then I'm upset with myself. And then I go back the way I used to eat, and I'm fine.
And then you feel great.
Yeah. But that's, it's what humans are supposed to eat. We're supposed to eat real food. And a giant percentage of our diet is processed bullshit. And that stuff is just, it tastes good and it tricks your body because there's all sorts of salt and sugar in it. And, those high calorie, high carbohydrate foods are so easy to overconsume.
Yeah.
We had Elon and I had pizza the other night, and I just couldn't stop eating it. Jamie had to take it away from me. If you didn't take it away from me, I would have ate that whole box.
Yeah, once you start, you
I
can't
can't
stop.
stop.
Yeah.
I'm a glutton.
And then the funny thing is, then you're still hungry an hour later.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Whereas when you eat foods with high nutrition, like broccoli or something, you're full.
Well, especially protein. If you eat foods, protein has a very high satiety rate. So, like, if you eat steak, you can only eat so much steak. Or you could keep going if you wanted to, if you're in a contest or some shit. Like, you ever see those places, like restaurants, where they give you a free meal if you could eat a 72-ounce steak? And so people try to eat them. You have to eat it, like, within 30 minutes or something crazy like that. But when you eat steak, like, at a certain level, you're done. Your body's like, that's enough. But if there's steak and then bread, the bread's right there with butter and it smells good and it's fresh. Oh, ooh, give me some more of that bread. Or there's a bowl of pasta, like, ooh, and then there's some ice cream, ooh. You'll keep going. And that's where modern foods have kind of hijacked the human brain, hijacked your reward system. It makes you crave these things that are ultimately detrimental to your health.